Hello everyone, welcome to Conversations from ACFI Annual Conclave in Delhi. I am Rajarshi Chatterjee from Stat Trade Times, and right now with me I have Fletcher Samuel, Assistant General Manager Cargo Business of Bangalore International Airport and also the Chairman of Air Cargo Forum India, Bangalore chapter. Thank you for joining us, Fletcher.
Thank you so much, Rajarshi. It's a pleasure being part of this particular interview.
So, with recent developments like the launch of India's largest Greenfield Domestic Cargo Terminal with Menzies Aviation and AISATS BLR Logistics Park, how has Kempegowda International Airport's cargo handling capacity evolved?
Okay, the cargo handling capabilities at Bangalore Airport today is the largest in south of India, south of central India. So the capacity today at Bangalore Airport is around 1.1 million metric tons per annum, and it is coming through our two world-class operators, which is Menzies Aviation and WFS. Both of them are operating our international cargo terminals plus the domestic, the Greenfield project, as well as the Cool Port. Together, all of these facilities with our express cargo terminal is building a capacity of 1.1 million metric tons per annum, where there is a dedicated handling capacity for the international cargo of around 500,000 metric tons. 150,000 goes for express cargo terminal, 40,000 for our Cool Port, which is going to get enhanced to another 80,000 metric tons, 360,000 metric tons, which is coming along with our domestic cargo facility, right? Altogether, they are all adding up to around 1.1 million metric tons per annum. And with that, we becomes the Central and South India's largest cargo handling capabilities with last year we closed at around 500,000 metric tons, which means we have, double the capacity of the cargo that we get processed. In addition to that, what we are also trying to do is we are trying to refurbish our existing cargo terminals, which is with Menzies and WFS, bringing in an additional 100,000 metric tons of handling capacity further. That refurbishment works are on today, but however, we are all anticipating the refurbishments to get completed by the end of this financial year, and the trade will have this all additional handling capacity, and an advantage of, congestion-free airport and the cargo processing zones, for a very seamless experience while processing cargo through Bangalore Airport. And second to that is while we recently went live with our logistics park, which is a warehousing zone. It is a transit warehouse for the freight forwarders. It is a facility which is very important at an airport because it is not just processing cargo for the forwarder processing zone for the cargo, but it is a complement to the cargo terminals because all the forwarders would like to have a facility and an infrastructure. What we have recently designed was long awaited. Very proud that it finally went live. It's a double story where the people are processing it. We have some global partners coming up there, setting up the distribution center, their collection center, their consolidation center, where the facility like this is going to further add on the overall cargo threshold that gets processed through Bangalore Airport further in the next few years.
So, if we have to summarize that, what is the existing cargo capacity at Bangalore?
So the existing cargo handling capacity, what we have today is around 1.1 million metric tons per annum. As I've said, we are going to add another 100,000 metric tons per annum by the end of this financial year.
And what is Bangalore Airport's target for 2030?
Oh, so currently at our airport, we are working on our Vision 2030. And under Vision 2030, our target is to achieve 750,000 metric tons. So we are talking about another 250,000 metric tons per annum. Now, to achieve that, there are various such initiatives, which is critical from an aspect of having the right infrastructure, will play a very crucial role for us to achieve our vision of 2030.
Right. And as you mentioned, cool chain, and also, what is the major type of cargo that you see, that major type of cargo that dominates BLR?
All right, so I would not say that any cargo specifically dominates at Bangalore Airport today. We see a wonderful mix of cargo commodities, which gets handled through our airport, through our cargo facilities, right? Yes, we have perishable as We in India today we handle the highest number of perishable exports through our airport, and for the 5 consecutive years we have been the #1 airport for handling and processing perishable through our facilities. These are as per the APIDA reports. But however, we also have significant amount of electronics, high-tech goods, mobile phones, automotive goods, engineering goods. They are all equally contributing to the growth at Bangalore Airport. And on top of that, it's not just the commodities; it is also the share of exports and imports. So we are, should say that we are pretty blessed to have a 50-50%, almost 50-50% of exports and imports share, at our cargo terminals, right? Which is a big advantage to all the carriers. That's exactly what they're looking for today, right?
And did you observe any change or shift in that particular cargo type or anything like that?
So it is not a change or a shift, but rather today I would call it, because of the government of India's focus on attracting more FDIs in the manufacturing sectors and specifically into the electronics. We do see a lot of interest and a lot of production, in the electronics, in the mobile phones, by various global players, right? And that's where all the carriers are looking forward for. And simultaneously, as an airport, we are looking to facilitate, such movements seamlessly or efficiently through our premises.
Right. And according to you, what are the trends in South India's air cargo flows?
Also, as I said earlier, the trends continues, on the aspect of electronics, high-tech goods, mobile phones, semiconductors. That's where the trend is today. Yes, ready-made garments we see picking it up, but the trend will continue for the next few years in the mobile phone sector.
Right. And moving ahead, the you already mentioned about the capacity part, how Bangalore Airport is taking up new steps to meet these demands. And in ACFI also, we observed uh, majorly there has been one topic that came out, that was India becoming a transshipment hub. What is your opinion on that?
Yes, if you talk about transshipment has a very, very high and strong potential. Because as we are all inching slowly towards the long-term vision of achieving 10 million metric tons, transshipment will play a very important role. Now, when we are talking about important role, it's to make that happen, it is important that the government agencies, the airports, the terminals, the airlines, they all need to come together collaboratively, work towards certain regulations which needs to be eased out, kind of an infrastructure which needs to be made ready to cater to a successful transshipments, right? So India needs to have transshipment airports. The airports which has the handling capabilities, which has a higher connectivity, which has a wonderful mix of belly and freighters, are definitely a good option for evolving out as a transshipment center.
And with more cargo coming into the airports, more cargo traffic, there is obviously a higher chance of landside congestion with more trucks waiting. And you, earlier this year, BLR Cargo recently partnered with Shell Mobility India. So, how do you see that partnership impacting your landside operations right now?
Um, so yes, it is a challenge for various airports today in terms of managing your road transportation within the campus. So, giving the perspective at Bangalore Airport today, when we handle close to around 500,000 tons of cargo on a yearly basis, or let's say around 40,000 plus tons on a monthly basis, we get to see close to around 1,500 to 1,800 trucks coming to our cargo campus on a daily basis. Now, 1,500 to 1,800 trucks is when you do 500,000 tons. We are all aspiring to be a 1,000,000 tons plus. You can straight away double the numbers or maybe more than that in amount of trucks that will start coming into the campus. Now, something which is very important and which played to our benefit on having the right infrastructure, with the thought of being future ready, was implementing our automated truck parking facility, which was developed through the partnership with Shell. And Shell did a fantastic jobs in terms of maintaining the high quality of operational standards, in terms of digitizing some very basic processes, which was the key requirement for the success of this business. So something at an airport, what happens today is, any trucks which arrives to an airport, they cannot create a congestions, especially in Bangalore airport today, I can say, because they do not go to their respective cargo terminals unless there is a slot available, or there is a truck dock space available, right? So all the trucks will first come to our ATMF facility. So it is a system which works on a real-time basis. So at the time of an entry, the truck's data is recorded. There are 9 touch points, 9 data points in terms of driver's name, the vehicle number, it's the function that it is going to perform at an airport. For example, if it is going to carry cargo for outbound or for inbound, all those things are specified at the time of an entry. Now, this information on a real-time basis is transacted through to the truck dock managers of the respective cargo terminal where the truck has to go and perform the function, right? The basis on which the availability of the slots or the truck docks, the truck dock managers will approve the specific truck. Once he approves that particular truck, the driver will get the 3 modes of communications in terms of a message that your truck has been approved, kindly proceed to the respective cargo terminal. And then, the second is he gets a call, post his call. If he doesn't respond, there is a public announcement system basis on which the drivers will proceed to the respective terminal and perform the function. Uh, the benefit that this facility has brought in for the airport today is, earlier, before our automated truck parking facility, the average truck turnaround time on the campus was in the range of around 7 to 8 hours or 9 hours, right? And with this facilities, with the kind of system has been built in, the truck turnaround time on the campus has come down to around, on an average of around 1.5 hours, which is a big advantage on a campus because your trucks are, the turnarounds are much more faster, there is no congestion. So anytime, I'll invite you, anytime come over to our campus, even if during the peak hours, you will hardly see a truck on the cargo road. Why? Because they are all following the process. They are parking, they are going out only when they are called for, unnecessarily not creating any congestion. So that's one part of the business, right? The second part of this is that, with the Shell, we were able to make a very strong impact on the most important part of this whole value chains, which are usually getting neglected, are the truck drivers. So it doesn't really matter how efficient I am or how seamless the operation is. If your goods doesn't arrive on time, your whole process goes on a toss, or your efficiency goes on a toss. And specifically, all these drivers are not necessarily traveling domestically, they are traveling cross-border, they are doing interstates, they do overnight journeys. For all these drivers, it is very, very important to have a right infrastructure from the perspective of taking care of them, right? You take care of them. And from the perspective, they come to a campus, there's a wonderful area where the trucks are parked, they have a resting area, they have a boarding point, there are very clean toilets, there are drinking provisions, there is a restaurant. By all of these, the drivers also feel very happy. And it is not just also making them feel happy, it is also about taking care of their well-being. The drivers rest well, they drive safe on the streets, right? So it's back to the drivers and to the community what this facility is able to offer. And Shell, as a partner, has done a fantastic job in terms of how this whole facility has been designed and it is being managed today.
Amazing. So one side we have a facility which enables goods move on time, and which is a very critical element for the air cargo industry. And on the other side is the welfare of the truck drivers, because end of the day, air cargo is a people's industry.
Correct.
And coming to the last part of my of this interview is something on a personal side. So, if you could tell us a story or any personal memory that is related to the air cargo sector.
Okay. So I don't have a story to tell you because there are many, but something which I want to highlight on is, at Bangalore Airport, we are blessed from all aspects to have a trade community which is very forward-looking, very supportive from an aspect of any initiatives that as an airport we want to drive towards this ecosystem. For example, there are 2 key projects which went live during the pandemic period. Right? The first one was our ATMF. The second one was our air cargo community system. You will not believe that these are the 2 facilities. Before it went live, there was an amount of engagements that we called in from the trade, whether it is from ACFI, whether it is from Bangalore customs agents, or whether it is from any freight forwarders or exporters we called in for. They all came forward very positively and they supported us because they realized the importance of digitalization, right? And that's what our air cargo community system is working today. So today, almost 99.5% of the trade transact through our air cargo community system. 100% of the shipments or 100% of the goods which arrives to our campus follows a very synchronized process through our automated truck parking facility. And this is the facility, rather than we getting benefited, it's the trade who gets benefited end of the day, right? So, and hence I would always give back the appreciations back to the trade, because if the trade would have never welcomed this, these facilities would have never gone live. And they understand the value of such infrastructure and such processes at the airport. And because whatever we are building, end of the day, it's for the community.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.